Hi guys, it's Amy at Zoe back, and I'm going to do my weekly update for March 24th, 2024. So, it has been a weird reading week. I have definitely gone back down the rabbit hole of just rereading. I cannot make myself read physically much of anything at all. So it's been kind of hard on me because there'd be days where I sat watching BookTube, but I could not pick up a book, which I normally do, is when, even though I'm watching stuff, I'm also reading, you know, anyway, but I just can't. So it's been really heavy audiobooks at work and in the car, and then I'd come home and I'd play games on my iPad and listen to audiobooks, and then I restarted I came back to my Animal Crossing, so I started playing that. Yesterday, I let myself play for like 3 hours on unpacking and finished the video game. I didn't even know I was going to finish the game that quick. Anyway, so it's been a really weird reading week. So the only update I have for the house is I called on Monday to say, hey, how much longer are we going to have these fans in our garage, because they're just going 24/7. I don't want to think about the power bill yet. I haven't seen that yet. And I wanted to know how much longer that was, because I missed my microwave. My microwave wouldn't work when those things were running for very long. So I talked to the project manager. He said, oh, he'll send somebody out in the afternoon on Monday to pick them up, because they've been in there for like 2.5, 3 weeks. And I said, hey, cool. So I told my brother, because he was going to be home before I was. They were supposed to show up between 3:30 and 4. They texted me at 2:45 saying they were 20 minutes out. And I'm like, whoa, my brother's not there yet. So I text my brother. He got off work. He was already on overtime. He was just trying to catch up on something. So he left, got here right after they got here. So we were all lucky that way. So then he texted me and said that they were doing the demo. So by the time I got home, they were almost done. So in 2 hours from when they started, they were done, and they had taken the fans. All the demo is done. So now I'm just waiting for a call from the remodel side of the business. So I'm going to call on Monday, because they were supposed to call me sometime this week to reschedule for someone to come out to look at the garage and measure. They took out all the drywall on my brother's side and cleaned up and sprayed everything down for the mildew and all that stuff. And then my side, they took out part of the panels between ours that are close to the garage doors, which is near where the pipe burst. And then they took out the whole bottom behind all my shelving. They had to pull all my shelving out, which I knew was going to happen probably. And they took out all the bottom part. So I don't know how it got moldy or stuff down there. I don't know. Weird, because the water, I didn't remember the water going that far down the side. Anyway, so all my stuff's in the middle of the garage. My brother's been cleaned out. So we're, again, now I have to wait for that. So I'll call on Monday to say, hey, when's this next step happening? I just want to make sure we're on the schedule, because I keep seeming to forgetting us. I have to call, and then somebody will come. And I'm like, why do I have to do this? They should be like doing this all the time. I should not have to be the one to remind them that I exist when I'm already in process with my insurance company. Very weird. Anyway, so that's my little update on that. It's not going well. So, anyway, so let's, beyond that, work was fine. I just listened to a lot of audiobooks at work this week, because that's just all I seem to be able to do. And that's all I want to do. But it might be because I'm rereading some favorite series, and that's one thing. But I also just, I don't know. I don't feel like reading physically, and I don't know why that is. I'm very much a physical reader overall. I like rereading by audio and rereading physically, but I'm not even able to pick up anything. I mean, the pages I've read physically this week is like 80 pages in a graphic novel. Everything else has been audio, and that's so unusual for me. I'm very much a much higher number of physical reading than audiobooks. So it's weird right now. I'm hoping to get out of it, but I don't know. We'll see how this goes, because again, I started another series on reread that's pretty long, and so that's all audios that I just got last year on a sale. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, so let's talk about the books that I did read, the ones I'm in the middle of, and what I think I'm gonna read in the next week, which we have ideas, but not sure. So I did complete the World of the Others reread that I was doing. I started Wild Country, I think, on Sunday, and then went on to Crowbones. I listened to these very quickly. I did quite a bit on Sunday and Monday. This might have gone till Tuesday. I think so. But really, I was listening to a lot, as I said, at work, and even at home, I would sit and play iPad games in order to listen to my audiobooks. So again, this is the offshoot of the Others series. This is The World of the Others. This is book 2, Wild Country, and book 3, Crowbones. So book 2 takes place in a town called Bennett in the middle of the continent, and it it's kind of connected to the main series with some of the characters we met in one of the other books. And then this one continues from Lake Silence, so it's a continuation of that one. Again, The World of the Others is a urban fantasy alternate history series where most of North America is covered, is like Wild Country, where there are shifters and vampires and elementals who are more in charge of the land than humans are. Humans only control little small pockets, and when they have issues with the others and things go wrong, there are other creatures called the elders who might come in and take them out. But mostly the humans are just delegated to certain parts, and then the Wild Country, the wilds, people, the things out in the wild could kill them. And it's, it's very interesting because it's very modern and yet not. It's such a cool series. I just adore this. I love the way the others, the vampires and the shifters, how they think and and the elementals, how they do things. I just think it's so interesting. Anyway, so I just adore this series. This was my first reread because I read these for the first time last year. And I listened to these on audio by Alexandra Harris, I believe it is. Anyway, so this is still my least favorite of the whole, the Others series and The World of the Others, just because of some things that happen in the end. And yet, on my second reread, I see why a lot of that happens. I still don't like it, but it's not because it's written about, it's more of just, oh, I don't want that to happen like that. Anyway, they're all very heartbreaking in certain ways. And brutal in other ways. I really enjoy this series, and so I'm so glad that I continued and did my reread and finished that. Now I just need more books in the series. I'm hoping she comes out with one next year. This year she did a short story collection, which I did get, which I haven't picked up yet, because there's only about four or five series stories that deal with the others. I will read those at some point. I'm not physically reading right now, but I will get to that. And then it has a lot of standalone short stories in there. And then it has a lot of stuff with the Black Jewels, which again, I need to reread the first book and then continue that series, because that is a really dark fantasy series, which I do want to try again and get farther in, but not right now, but at some point. And then I went into rereading one of my favorite series, just because the next book in the series comes out at the end of April. So I've been thinking about it, going, oh, well, I might need to read the couple books beforehand. And no, I started from the very beginning. So right now it's a 15-book series with several novellas and stuff. So I did start the Guild Hunter series over by Nalini Singh. Is anybody surprised that with all my rereading, I didn't pick up Nalini Singh again? Anyway, so we start with Angels Blood is the first book in the Guild Hunter series. We're following Elena, who is a Guild Hunter. She is Hunter born, which means she tracks vampires. And she is called to work for the Archangel Raphael on a really important mission, and very deadly. And so it's her meeting the Archangel. And this is a world where humans are the lowest in power, then there are vampires, and then there are angels, and then there are archangels. So it's a really cool world, a very huge overarching plot in this world. We follow Elena and Raphael through most of the series in books that move the overarching plot forward. There are books that are on individual couples, but they are the main couple throughout the series. So the first couple books are about them and the world, and we're learning things about stuff. So Archangels Blood was book 1. Book 2 is Archangel's Kiss. Book 3 is Archangel's Consort. And yesterday I finished Archangel's Flight, or Angel's Flight, which is 4 novellas. 3 of them take place before the start of the series, and one of them that takes place after book 3. So I always read it after book 3. So again, I've reread this series multiple times. The last time I read The Guild Hunter series was a year and a half ago when book, I think 15 came out. I think that's what number we're on. It's quite a few books. Anyway, so yeah, I think whenever the last one came out, I read it. I read all of them. I read quite a few of them. I think I read it from the beginning all over again. So I haven't read this in a while. It's a year and a half for one of my favorite series. So I have read now 4 of the first, well, 3 novels and 4 novellas. So that's kind of where I'm at on that. So those are all the books that I finished. That's 6 books rereading that I finished. I'm almost done with Archangels Blade, which is book number 4 in the Guild Hunter series. So this one actually follows a different couple following Dimitri, one of the 7, one of Raphael's top men, and another Guild Hunter. So I really enjoy these other books. So I'm going to set that have to do with the other couples, because we still see the main cast of characters. But again, this is just this is why this series I consider more urban fantasy and not quite so paranormal romance in the way that the main couple, with Elena and Raphael, have multiple books with them and overarching plot details, while there are a few books that deal with people that are close to them and their love stories and stuff. So I just adore this series. Anyway, so I am going to continue the series. Again, this is book 4. I have 11 others to read. So, and I have till April 23rd, I think, is when the next book comes out. So I'm sure between now and then, those audiobooks, I own them all. Again, I own almost all the Nellie Easing audiobooks. I think I do. Oh, I have some old ones of the Side Changeling I still need to buy, but most of them I own. So anyway, so that's what I'm currently listening to right now. As I said, I'm not really physically reading anything. I do also still have the audiobook for Still Life with Crows by Douglas Preston and Lincoln Child. This is book 4 in the Pendergast series. I was wrong last week. I thought it was 5, but it's 4. Anyway, I'm about 31% of the way through. I am not sure about this one. I think it's just been too many years since I read the other books. I still like Pendergast and his interesting way of, he's an FBI agent, and he kind of takes a vacation to help this small Kansas town deal with some interesting killings. Again, these are kind of on the edge of mysteries with kind of a supernatural-ish kind of twist. There's always something kind of weird, like, because Relic was the first book in this series that I read when that came out, and or when I knew the movie was coming out and I read it. And I've read, as I said, this is book 4 in the series. So I read 3 others, but I read them like 2 decades ago, because I think this came out in 2004. So I think I tried this then. And at the time I had got it from the library and just never finished it. So it took me years to get another copy, because I thought I would come back to this series. I'm not sure if I'm in this mode anymore. I used to love books like this that had, that were mysteries. So it's, it has people that are dying, and then there's also this small town is dealing with the repercussions of that. And then something weird is going on and more people are dying. So I don't know. I do want to read more of this. That's about, as I said, so this might be the book I listen to while I'm playing. I restarted I told you I started playing Animal Crossing again. So I might listen to that at night with Animal Crossing. We'll see. It just matters. I still have 2 weeks on my audiobook from the library, so I have time. I still want to read that for March Mystery Madness. We'll see what happens. I did make some progress on The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson. This again is my 2-part edition. This is still book 1. I'm about 90 pages from the end of this one. So I did about almost 100 pages, I think on Friday. So and yesterday I just could not pick this up to save my life. So this is this is the Mammoth, the last of the March of the Mammoths that I think I will be able to get to and maybe finish in March. We'll see what happens. I do want to still read the other ones I had on my list, but they're just going to be pushed off for right now, because I do need to finish this book. I really enjoy Brandon Sanderson's writing, and I do like most of the characters in here. There are a few that I'm like kind of unsure about. Again, we're early. This is midway through The Way of Kings, the first book, and I know that this one is not because this is the first book, there's so much being introduced that it's not a favorite. Most people like the books that follow much more. So I just need to get through this one. I really want to. It's just my brain is having trouble focusing because I have the audiobook, but I'm also reading a lot. This one I'm actually immersion reading. I don't do that very often, but this one I have to because I feel like if I read it straight, it'd be fine. But right now I'm not reading physically either, so it doesn't help. Anyway, so I'm not doing so hot. We're going to get to that. So that's an epic fantasy that I'd like to get the first book in the Charmlight archive done. But I'm hoping this week to, even if I can only do an hour a day, I want to listen to an hour. I have, what did I say, 14 hours left at the speed that I run it at. 14 and a half hours left of the audiobook. So if I can get 2 hours a day, then I will get this done this week. If I can do 7 days of it. If not, then if I want to just do an hour a day or even a half hour a day, I will get this done. This is one of the mammoths that I want to get done, but it might not get done in March. Okay. And then I do have a couple library books, that Watership Down by Richard Adams, adapted and illustrated by James Sturm and Joe Sepine. So this is, oh, of course I did it right to my bookmark. Why did I do that? I don't know. I was trying to go before that. Anyway, so then again, this is Watership Down, and it has, it's really an interesting way of doing the story. I did read a little bit more, so I'm not quite half. I'm about 160 pages in, and I think this is 350 or so, or 3 something. I don't remember, 320. Anyway, I think I still have, no, 380. So yeah, so I still have over 200 pages left to read of this. Again, it's a graphic novel. There's a lot of, it's very, it's really well done. I mean, I don't remember how close of an adaptation this is. There's some things that I was kind of surprised about, but now that then a scene happened and I go, oh, well, okay, that did happen. And it seemed later than I remembered in the series or in the book. And I read the book, I don't know, a decade ago or something. It's been one I've been wanting to reread, and I just haven't made the time for it. But I saw that they had done a graphic novel of it, so I did that. So I'm going to still work through it. I still have that for another week. So I'm hoping by next week I'll have that done. And then I did start Emily Wilde's map of the Otherlands, book 2 in the Emily Wilde series by Heather Fawcett. Again, I got it from the library. This is due back today. So I'm not going to get this done. I was hoping, as I said, I tried all week to pick this up and I just couldn't do it. I've read 30 pages. Yeah, 30 pages. So I still want to read this. It's just, I was not in the mood for it, or I just didn't want to pick it up. I did buy my own copy of it. So, bad Amy. Anyway, so I did buy a copy. So I will return my library book, and I'm not counting this one yet as I'm currently reading, like, really, because I've read 30 pages and only a few pages here and there, because I can't get myself to read physically right now. So audiobooks just might be it, and the graphic novel, we'll see what happens. But this book I do want to read this. This is, again, Emily Wilde, second book. So the first book, Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies, was a fun romp for me. It was just fine. As in, I like the characters, and Emily is kind of taciturn, and she goes off to finish her Encyclopedia of Fairies by going to this small northern island, and she gets kind of caught up in a lot of stuff when her rival or / kind of friend, Wendell, shows up, and things just don't go the way that she planned. And I just really enjoyed it. It was really interesting. I'm not sure how this is going to go as a sequel. As I said, I've only read 30 pages, and I'm already, like, parts of it I like, and then there's something that just happened. I'm like, whoa, what is going on? So I just need to focus more on this when I get to it. But now that I own my own copy, it could be any time. So the library book will go back. So I'm not sure I'm going to read that right now. I just don't know. With the way my reading is, it's not going well. And then I, of course, will continue on with Nalini Singh's The Guild Hunter series. So book 5 is, of course, Archangels Storm. So this is, again, other one that is the different couple. So we will, and then the next book will be, I think, Legion. I think Archangels Legion is the next one, and that's back to Elena and Raphael. So again, I am really excited to reread this whole series. And again, I have them all in audio. They're all done by Justine Eyre, in case I didn't say that, I don't remember. So anyway, I'm going to read that one soon. I might pick up Wild Wolf by Jennifer Ashley, which is book 6 in the Shifters Unbound series. This is the last novel I need to reread in order to get back into the series and start reading new books. I do have this one and then one novella, Bear Attraction. So I did pick this up yesterday when I went out for lunch. I read about 14 pages, but I will read. I'm hoping to read. If I don't read this next week in April, I will definitely catch up and read those books in order to finish to get into the series, because I need to read like 6 or 7 books in the series, but then I'd be caught up on what I'd read before, so my reread will be complete on that, and then I will go into the new books. But I do want to read this one is Shifters. This one is the Vegas shifter town where 20 years before shifters were exposed and they were put into towns in different parts of the world. One of the shifter towns we follow is in Austin, Texas. The other one that we follow a lot is in Las Vegas. And in this one, we're following not the leader of the shifter town, but he's kind of like the alternate leader. He's kind of came from another shifter town that they shut down. And so there's some power struggles between him and the main shifter the leader. So because the other leader's a cat shifter and he is a wolf shifter, and he is getting caught up with this woman Misty, who she was they kind of met by accident in one of the other books, and right now she is in danger and he is going to trying to find her to rescue her. So anyway, I enjoy these, as I said, for paranormal romance. These are fun. But I need to finish that reread because it's been so many years since I read that and I haven't done that. So that is it right now. So I don't really know what's going to happen this week. I'd like to say I'm going to get through The Way of Kings. Not sure. I mean, I'm going to try to finish Watership Down for sure. I'd like to continue doing my reread of the Guild Hunter series. So I will probably do that. But I don't know what else. If I'm physically able to read, we'll see. My main focus is going to be, I think, like joy-wise, I'm definitely going to be listening to the Guild Hunter series. I think that's just it. My hope is to try to get some of Still Life with Crows done and some of The Way of Kings done and Watership Down. I don't know how it's going to go. It depends. I feel really in a weird place this year. Of my rereading is, as I said, it's not quite 50% yet. We're getting closer though. So there's so many books I want to read and so many other series, but this is, I have to go with what I feel like. And again, I'm a big rereader. Not everybody is. Rereading is something I thoroughly enjoy. I just usually do more reading of new books versus my rereads. And this year is just not, it's coming close to 50% rereads, but not quite yet. But we're getting closer. I think it's very close. It's really close. It might go over this week. We'll see. Anyway, so I think that's it. So Cooper and I are just going to hang out. I probably will release my book haul, not my book haul, my TBR later this week. I'm getting that together today, so we'll see what happens on all that. Beyond that, I think that's it. So let me know how your guys' reading going. How are you guys about rereading? Or, do you do that where you just can't read a certain format? I cannot pick up a physical book. It's really hard. I mean, it was hard to pick up that Watership Down, even though I got into it once I was reading it again. It was just, I just haven't been able to pick up. And I feel really bad about Emmy Wild that I spent money because I couldn't get it done from the library, but oh well. I mean, I do have the other books, so it's not like I wasn't going to buy a copy, but I probably should have waited, but oh well. That was a library fail for Amy. Anyway, so that's it. Let me know how you guys are doing, and Cooper and I will see you later. Bye.